Hello, I thought I would do a bit of a thing, I don't know, streaming of scenes. Here I have a beautiful scene. This is the demo scene from Cinti Studios' Apocalypse. And it really is a pretty scene. They, tons here, right? Now, obviously, the scene isn't meant to be played in. It's not optimized. If I hit play, look at the batches and stuff, everything. It is running 90 frames, but it's not optimized at all. But it's not meant to be at all, right? It's a demo. But I thought, what a cool place to set up scene streaming, right? There are assets out there that do this, and they probably do it better. But can you achieve this on your own? Why, yes, you can. And I'm going to show you how we do that. So, if I save this as call this our main demo scene, and I don't know where I'll put that. I should put these all in one spot. So I'm going to create a folder and call this our scene. Ooh, be careful, I already got one. Okay, demo stream scene. There we go. And if I say our main demo scene, you go stick in some folder I just made that I've already forgotten the name of. Yeah, right there. Okay. Don't forget it while I move it. Alright, there we go. Alright, so then, how do I stream it? Well, let's start with these objects. Now, I'm only going to make 4 of them maybe. Obviously, you would probably go more. Actually, you know what? And I'm gonna try to name these top in a very specific matter. And more importantly, I'm gonna put these at 0. Okay. He is at 0, and I'm literally just gonna go over here, and we're gonna say, okay, well, let's just take this area. Like I said, now this is a very crude way of doing it, and I'm just going to drag this down, stuff it in here, shrink all this stuff. We'll have to do that several times. Right, so there's our top right. Now I'm just going to deactivate that, and I create another one. He's going to be top left. Again, make sure you 0, and I'm going to take that guy there. So yeah, obviously you would want to do this more precisely, and probably in smaller chunks, right? Like you might want to make like 10 chunks for this, but I'm not worried about that right now. I'm just showing you how we do it. Make sure that's zeroed, and this can be bottom left. And that's a much bigger chunk, but hey, whatever. And I'm going to drag that all into there. That's a lot of stuff. And then the other thing is this guy here, I don't want to lose my camera, so I'm going to actually deactivate him briefly. Let's turn this so we can still see. Create another empty. Bottom right. zeroed, and I'm just going to grab this stuff. And I'm going to move him into there. Okay. So now we have very little. Big gaping hole. So I'm going to go to our stream. I'm just going to make a little folder called prefabs. This is just more of a temporary thing. And I'm going to reactivate all these. Now obviously there's a lot more you'd want to do with optimization, mesh combining, and lighting and shadows and all sorts of fun stuff. I guess one of the things that you should also do is, prior to, like, while you still have these all in one scene, bake your nav mesh, right? Because then after that you can delete those, right? I have these here, but we'd still have that nav mesh there. Okay, so if this is our main demo scene, I'm going to save it just like that. It's got all that stuff gone. I'm going to make a new scene, and I'm going to call this guy top right. And I'm going to get rid of the lighting and the camera. I'm going to drag over our top right, make sure it's zeroed, and then I'm just going to save it. And I'm going to make another new scene. Again, get rid of this. And this one's going to be our bottom right. Save as bottom right. I'm making sure to try to spell those right, because I'm going to try something that'll be a little different. If it doesn't work, it's other ways around it. So bottom or top left. So save that as top left. Okay. And top right. Get rid of those. And save as top right. Uh-oh. Did I already do that one? Did I already do that? I got a top left. Stick him over in here. We got a top right. Stick him over there. We have a bottom right. We didn't do the bottom left. There we go. So let's change the name of that then as bottom left. That's not actually changing the name, I'm just making another one. So now let's drag him bottom left over here. So if I go bottom left, I'm here. If I go bottom right, top left, top right, let's go to the main. There we go. So I am going to actually just temporarily bring these in, probably even just one at a time. Now there's a few different ways you can do this part. I'm going to make a cube. In some cases you might want to use just a distance check. But I'm going to take this cube and I'm going to kind of cover this area. And I'm going to go a little bigger so we're overlapping into the other areas. Okay, and that is bottom left, and I want that spelt just the same, but it's a trigger. Let's remove this, and now I can delete him and bring in the bottom right, and I'm actually just going to duplicate this guy and bring him over, stick him there, change his name to exactly match, delete him, duplicate him, move them up. Let's put these guys in so I know where I'm going. Okay, that's good. So this is top right, delete that, bring in the top left. Let's just move him over here. And delete that. Now I have 4 triggers. Like I said, normally you would break these down to be a lot smaller, like a third of that size or something. And then you could also, like I'm using triggers now. If you use distance checking, it might be a little better, because then you could have, you know, little ones inside, like interiors and stuff as well. But I'm not too worried about that right now. So the other thing we need to do is I'm going to go to the build settings, and I'm going to take those off for now. We have a main, bottom left, bottom right, top left, top right. Okay. So we need a way to stream. So first, let's take our camera. I'm going to move him out from that area. And do we have lighting? Yes, we have lighting. Apparently we have 2 directional lightings. Whatever floats your boat. I'm going to change this to player. We're going to pretend this is a player. Give him a rigid body so he hits triggers. Give him a capsule collider so he has volume. And I'll move him back here for now. I'll probably take his sight down to a reasonable sight. So bottom left, we need an FSM, and this needs a trigger event on trigger enter with player load. And we're going to come over here, and on this one, actually I'm going to delete that, copy and paste, and this one will be on exit. And we can say, well, I can reuse it, but unload, just to make it clear. Now I don't want to just go back over here like this. I do that sometimes for sure, but not in this situation. I want to actually come down to here, and then this is going to go up to here. And that's because we don't want the scene to load on the start. We're just looking for the trigger. Right, so we have enter and exit. So on exit we need to, or on when we load, we need to load scene, and we can use an index, and normally that's kind of how I think I would do it, but I'm going to try it by name because I haven't done this yet. So bottom left, this is why I name these things a specific way, right? Because I know that scene is, I might have to move those, is bottom left. So if I, in the start, get name, okay, we need to get owner, this is self, game object self, our name. Now we're going to get the name, and we're going to load it additively. We will allow, and that's it. I'm going to move them up here actually. And when we do it, when we want to unload, we're going to unload them. And we're going to unload that same scene. Whoop. Build index by name. There we go. So I just want to check that real quick. So that's in the bottom left. We might have to alter the name to include the path, which, I mean, if we do, big whoop. So where's our little camera? Let's make sure he's actually hitting stuff. Okay, no, he's working. Good. Good, good. Okay, so that's bottom left. Now let's just copy that. And I'm going to paste it over here because we named them the right spots. So the camera, right, like if I put the camera over here now, align with view, and I'm going to expand this for you guys, and I'll play with this tiny box up here. Now, if I hit play, and I take this camera, and I bring him in, he's going to start loading scenes, and he's unloading scenes, as you can see up here. Right, just like that. Like I said, now I'm using a larger chunk. You normally would want to go smaller. But there we have scenes streaming in and out. Right, and you can see that in our hierarchy. We're in the main demo scene. We currently have the bottom left scene loaded in. Right, we have the bottom right scene. If I go somewhere over here, I get them both. Oh, I can have all four. So, I mean, you could, right? I mean, now, I said, I mean, I didn't set these triggers. I mean, you can see very well. But I could easily say, you know, make those overlap a fair bit more. But like I said, you would typically want smaller ones anyways. You don't really want to be streaming in these massive chunks. It's not the most proficient method if you're going to be doing this, right? You're going to want to do something smaller, right? Just little boxes. But there we have scene streaming with PlayMaker. So cool. Thanks for watching.